I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Good morning to Queen Sunkiss. I'm apologize to Mimi because she was waiting for me last night, and I said I'm sorry I'm pushing it back. Also to Femi, apologize to y'all as well. I'm going to sit here. Actually, I've been up all night, so I've been up all night. So, and I didn't. I was watching. Let me just sit here and say, Queen, I did enjoy the roast. I enjoyed the roast from last night, and I was watching that roast last night. I had to laugh at that song. Uh, oh man, it felt good. It felt good, right? It felt good. But no, enough of that right now, right? I'll talk about that at a later date, I hope. But on this video, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about shame, blame, and explain. And I'm getting really tired of yeah, I was half ass sleep though, but I was it was on and off. I can't really. I wouldn't say my sleep was an enjoyable one, but I did have a good time. Not like that, but watching the roast, the song and the visuals, that put a smile on my face. I laughed so hard. Anyway, she had it coming to her. But anyway, where was I at? I saw this yesterday morning, and I saw it on somebody else's channel. Pop it, what's it called? Pop Out TV put out the footage of Taz and Mr. Beanz TV going at it. And I want to ask y'all this question. Are y'all tired of this? See, some of y'all are looking for a story arc. You know, if you talk to somebody like a soul provider, he looks at this as arcs. Oh, this is an arc, and we need a story arc out of this. No, no. I'm of the belief that some things need to end. Okay? Some of this has to end. This been going on far too long. 15, 20 years of social media putting people are destroying themselves on social media. And when I say themselves, I'm talking about as a race or as a nation or as a group. Using racial stereotypes. It seems like in every black corner, black Western corner, it's always a Tyler Perry movie being played. That's why the thumbnail I put up to play Why Did I Get Married? If you watch that movie, Why Did I Get Married, the play or the movie, if you watch movies like or plays that Tyler Perry put out, Diary of an Angry Black Woman, or I Could Do Bad by Myself, Why Did I Get Married Part 2, it's the same argument over and over and over. And I'm sitting like, you Negroes are an embarrassment. Y'all are an embarrassment. Circular conversation, circular arguments. You're supposed to be past this already. The way I see it, you should be past all these little problems. You, as a 40-plus-year-old, you should be past this already. You're still arguing about something that some 20-year-olds are doing? Listen, let me tell you something. As a person who's in his early 40s, yes, I am. I'm in my early 40s. I can't believe the things that I used to, the things about I don't want to date a single mother. Issues like, well, I want this, I want that. By the time, about a few years ago, I'm gonna put it like this, about a few years ago, I dropped that. I dropped some of the I want to call it Hollywood concepts. And it's not pretty Hollywood. Is mostly black male. Yes, let's talk about it. Black male patriarchal standards. You're not a man until you get laid by the time you're 25. You're not a man until though you had a house by the time you are 23. You're not a man until you do X, Y, and Z. All these concepts that people trying to live up to, trying to quote unquote live up to somebody else's expectations. And some of us need to realize that we're trying to live up to somebody else's expectations. We're trying to live up to some old ass niggas concept of life. And some of these older head Negroes are baby boomers and Gen Xers. Why should you, as a millennial or as a Zoomer, trying to live a life that a baby boomer or even a Gen Xer trying to tell you how what manhood is? And that's why a lot of y'all fell following these traps on social media. Now I get it. I get why though you don't want you don't want to date a single mother. I get that point. But let's look at it realistic. Let's look at this in a realistic way. The more women get older, the women get older, most likely women will have children. Women are not going to wait. Some women are not going to wait for you. Some women are not going to wait for this man over here. No, she got a set set amount of time for her to create life, while at the same time, because we talk about black patriarchy, you Negroes who see a woman over the age of 35 who don't have children, y'all would shame these women for not having children. So you Negroes also need to make up your mind up on that part. If she has too many children, or if she's a single mother, it's a problem. And y'all the same niggas that come online and say, well, how come you're 35 and you don't have no kids? There's something wrong with you. You got a barren womb. Make up your mind up. Which do you want? Okay? Which one do you want? Some of y'all just need to give up the ghost. I'm talking to black men here, right? Give up the ghost. Some things you need to just accept. Like I have to, let me say something. I force myself to accept things I know I'm not going to get. Because I have to deal with reality. You're not going to get the Hollywood treatment or the treatment what the black church want you to get, or what the pimp and the pastor want you to have. Believe though what should be the right course. You listen to niggas like Sir Ism. Sir Ism said you're not a man until you get your botch. The B word. That black pastor at that black church will tell you you're not a man until you are married by the time of age of 25. Y'all do this on both ends. Now I want y'all to notice something. Now I have not watched the entire live stream, mind you. I didn't watch the entire live stream because I'm saying this out of fairness. Again, I'm going to say this out of fairness. All right. But there's some talking points that need to die. And here is one I'm about to play here in a minute.
And now, because of the state of the world that we're in, everybody tend to assume and associate false narratives associated with loose black men that were invisible to those same women in the past. And so now the premise is I don't know if you heard about this homosexual guy denigrating black men and saying black men are the part of the problem. And really that's a cognitive distortion in the clinical, because it's all predicated in something called overgeneralization. You take a small sample size of black men that are complicit in the problems in the black community, and you falsely equivocate all black men with those issues. And that's a false assumption, because most black men are not complicit in that nonsense.
Now, I want you to notice that culture cognition is going to say something that is contradictory. This is a problem when you talk in circles. This is circular conversations. It's circular because he's talking about this gay guy, and I know Queen Sunkiss guy was mad at me about this gay guy who I dragged the other day, who I wanted to drag, but I told people don't pay attention to that character. But anyway, I said, he's going to talk about the narrative of, wait a minute, we shouldn't be put it all into the same category, in the same box as what the gay guy put us in, as labeling us as cancers. Now watch what he's about to say and why I have a problem with black YouTube. Because nobody really going to sit there and say, wait a minute, brother, how can you make this point when you did the exact same thing that the gay guy is doing?
Black men didn't create the manosphere. Liberal dogmas create the manosphere, and black men began to come together trying to find answers and solutions. Now look at it on the bell curve. On the average, most black men are centrists. Look, they're right in the center. They're average. These decent black dudes. Do you have some outliers at extreme? Sure, that's a small percentage. But then you got those that excel. But you know, you got Manosphere 1, Manosphere 2, Manosphere 3, Manosphere 4. But we're like denominations. We're like, it's no different than the Crips and the Bloods that we were talking about a minute ago. The Crips and the Bloods are black, but they're not from the same conscious tribe. So people always make these false assumptions just because your skin color is black, then your consciousness is of one thing. I don't associate with somebody who does the Negroes. I don't deal with them because their consciousness is not black. I don't agree with them because I believe that you can't have a black community unless black men are leading their communities. But when you got a generation of women that conspire with liberal white women, they conspire with maladaptive policies. We're in the situation that we're in now because of that. And when things happen, you have these people that have this pro-black ideology. I call it static blackness. And the presumption is that just because your skin color is black, your consciousness got to be black. But here's the problem with that.
See, this is where you made the hypocrisy at. You blame women right after the fact that you said you don't want this gay guy to blame black men. This is the reason why this issue will never end, because you're talking in circles. It's a cycle. You don't want to be victimized, but then here are you victimizing. Better yet. No. Wrong. That's not a fair assessment. Let me say input like this. You don't want to be accused, but then you're accusing others. I put it like that. And then let's talk about the manosphere as a manosphere, right? Neither one of y'all on that panel know anything about the genesis of the manosphere. You wasn't here. None of the Negroes on this panel, none of the 6 men on this panel know anything about the manosphere. Y'all don't. Y'all know about 1.0 and you know, the issues, what happened to the Nita Sarkeesian Gamergate. Y'all wasn't here for that. You wasn't here when Juanetta Gibson sent Brian Banks to 8 years. No, what is it? 8 years, 6, 7, 8 years of prison for a crime he did not commit. That's how a lot of it started from. And then, and when it comes to the black men part of it, along with the Brian Banks issue, was also about this movie called The Diary of a Tired Black Man by Tim Alexander. And what y'all don't talk about is the wealth gap, the education gap. None of you 6 men brought this up, and I know Taz is in the chat, is in the panel, but none of them brought it up on here. As far as I know, okay, far as I know, you got to go to the root cause of the problem, and none of you are capable of doing it. Okay, hold on. She said, I never heard a pastor say that. Okay, Bishop Patrick Wooden from North Carolina. What about the other black pastors that you see on the Joy 105 channel? They be saying a lot of things to men, telling them, you're not a man until you accomplish this. Pay close attention to them sermons. Pay close attention to like the sermons. You'll sit there and you be like, wait a minute, I'm not a man until I'm this. Why? You know, you got to pay close attention to the sermons, Queen.
DJ Hamp. Black people were never one in Africa. We didn't come from the same tribes in Africa. It was tribalism that made us one. We had to become one because of the struggle, but we were never one in consciousness, in religion, and in tribal affiliation. So what you're seeing now is a bunch of folks that assume just because your skin color is black, you're going to associate with them. I don't associate with black folks in their consciousness. It's not about pro-black men being the leaders of their family, and black women following and honoring and respecting their men. There can't be a revolution to black women honor and respect their black men. Now, once again, is there a quotient of dusty black men that are going about causing chaos in the black community? Sure. But we can't take a small sample size and falsely equivocate all black men as being complicit in this nonsense. Like I said, just like this gay guy now going around saying black men are the part of the problem. And a lot of that is fatherhood, daddy issues, and projection of pain. And they falsely associate all black men with those issues. And I got a problem with that. My mission is to tell black men to get what's best for you. You get with the best women that they're going to follow your program. You get with the best women that's going to respect you.
But earlier you did this. You did this women the same way as the gay guy, the LGBTQ guy did to us. That flew right over your head. And it's a long. I ain't heard from clinician in about 2-3 years. I ain't seen him in 2-3 years, and thank God I hadn't seen it in that time. I get tired of that. I'm getting tired of shame, blame, and explain.
As a man, but you got a generation of men that have been raised to think like women, and in the clinical world, DJ, we call that introjection. That's an ego defense mechanism. That ego defense mechanism says that I cannot see anything out the approval of women because they never seen or heard things based on masculine identity and masculine authority, and it's prevalent in the black community. Also, from a clinical, we call that adultification. Adultification is what causes son husbandry.
Okay.
Now here, I think this is here where it got out of pocket. I think here's if I'm not mistaken. Wait a minute, is there another Big J in the chat room? Wait, hold on. Time out, y'all. Hold on. I can't believe somebody named themselves after me. Hold on, let me go ahead and put this down. I ain't see this inside the chat room. Wait a minute. There's a Big J 5335. You know what? I'm investigate that in a minute. You better not start no shit and make some shit up about me and saying I did this. No, you know what? I'm talking about that later on. And keep it moving.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. So there's a decent amount of points. I have an issue with that last thing. We go back and forth about that quite often.
Yes,
men
right.
operating at a deficit mindset. I cannot stand that.
Right.
I still fight the trope today that women control access to sex. I just haven't seen it, right? Maybe anecdotally. So maybe I just, in terms of everybody, how you say, just a couple different tropes, right? But one thing you said is there's a subset of men that are the representation, right? There's a cohort of degeneracy by a nominal amount of black men if you just look at like the crimes and arrest records and
yes,
stuff.
sir. Right.
But
Right.
Adultification is all over the place. Boys are being adultified by pimp culture. Girls are adultified by pimp culture. The over-sexualization, the hyper-sexualization, I should say. None of y'all are, the idea of being what's the word? Being carnal minded. Every conversation has something to do with man and woman, penis, vagina, sexual organ rubbing together concepts, and it's a perversion that y'all put out there, that we as a collective put out there among ourselves. We don't have to blame just Hollywood or music. We do this to ourselves.
That be the same thing said about the women? It's a subset, it's a cohort that is propagandized to be the face of black women.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Somebody who named themselves after me in that chat room, to the person who named himself after me in this chat room, because I just saw it. Everybody has access to sex. Women are not the gatekeepers of sex exclusively. Because if you live in a patriarchal society, I mean, men can't enforce rules to get sex. So I really hate this. I really hate this stupid ass. Yeah, and it's stupid. One of the dumbest arguments being made is, well, women control access to sex. When men make the rules. If women are the gatekeepers of sex, how come y'all won't, y'all won't pay, yet y'all try to defend patriarchy? Then therefore, by that logic, you're not in a patriarchy. But then you want to have a patriarchy. If you can go by that logic. Some of these talking points y'all are talking, these talking points are decades old. It should be dead and buried. These talking points is like the Mayflower type of arguments. And the arguments that was raised in the Mayflower. The age of the Enlightenment. Y'all about 400 years late on what y'all talking about. There's layers to this, and y'all still thinking some simple, whatever. Let's keep it moving.
If 92% of black women vote for policies that are antithetical to black excellence, then I would say that's a larger sample size. Now, let's say if they're not necessarily 100% complicit in the debauchery, they still...
Wait, hold on. Policies such as what? You mean, are you referring to, the Department of Education that Donald Trump and Linda McMahon is trying to get rid of? And the Department of Education was originally created to help your black ass as a black man, and you Negroes voted for the opposite because you're mad at the black woman, because you don't like and I get it. You don't like the Boss Girl Act. I don't like Boss Girl Act my damn self. But if she's too busy trying to be a boss girl with her education degrees, shouldn't you get your damn education, nigga? Y'all niggas think that this right here is going to get you across the finish line. Shame, blame, and explain. I'm sorry, it won't. You think SBE is a power move? Yeah, because I get online, I can say it. Get out of here.
overrepresent policies that are detrimental to Black excellence. Now,
and yet he never explained what these policies are. I want y'all to notice that he ain't explained not one policy yet.
So you're going voting patterns is a
right. And so let's say if 40%, let's say 20% of Black men are complicit in this nonsense, I would argue that you got at least 50 to 60% of Black women complicit in the same nonsense. From the, people talk about femicide, this has been the whole premise. They got a small sample size of Black.
Yeah, that was me. I brought that topic. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so, people talk about femicide, and so they were trying to make this false analogy that a large conglomerate of Black men are complicit in destroying women. That's a false narrative. Most Black men are good men, hard-working men, solid dudes. Are there French lunatics?
Okay, let's put this in the proper context about femicide. Femicide is in the increase. Now, I know you Negroes want to make everything about Black-centric and Afrocentric, but I refuse to do the Afrocentric shit because I follow trends. Femicide is in the uptick in most developed nations. Australia, South Africa. South Africa is so bad in South Africa that the president of South Africa had to pass a law to because it was increasing at wide numbers within the last 6-7 years. Then though you got countries like Brazil, Mexico, Great Britain, France, the Western Alliance. And then over here in the United States and Canada, there has been an uptick of femicide, not just in the Black community. Let me say something too, though, right? I'm so tired of hearing that word community. That's why I'm gonna use that word community, because I'm tired of hearing that word community every time I see you Negroes talk. I'm tired of hearing that word community. That's why Santos Clutch. And even and people like myself always use that word community instead of using the word community. Because y'all first of all, y'all bastardize it too damn much. And then you don't and half the things you Negroes say, you don't know what you're talking about. You gotta cite your sources. Anyway, let me keep on going.
But then if we want to make that argument, then we can say that a large percentage of our own quote-unquote women are complicit in the femicide. Because I promise you, if you look at the stats on the femicide among Black women is a whole lot higher than the stats of femicide of Black men contributing to homicides against Black women. I promise you those stats are higher.
And nobody asked where you got those where you got your stats from. Somebody asked cognition. Culture cognition, where you get your stats from? Where is the spreadsheets? Where are the graphs? Where are the charts? Where you can get this at?
Question: how many? What's the raw number? And in Beans and Taz, you got Taz probably maybe want to reply to something. Beans sounded like he had a question. I just wanted to ask this, right?
I have about 7 minutes, but go ahead. I don't know.
I'll be quick. You just have to be quicker than me. That's all. So
Yes,
you can get the reply. Right. Now, one thing we've been breaking down stats a lot more in depthly, right? So when you mentioned 92% of Black women voted, how many Black women is that though? That I don't think that equates to 20 million, 24 million, or whatever the number is. You see? So that number is that actually. That's just the people who voted. That doesn't.
Right. Well, but if you okay, that's an excellent point. Okay. But my point is, if 92% overrepresent in voting for policies that are
Nyla, sorry. I think you have an echo.
Yes.
What are the policies? You keep saying policies. What are the policies, nigga? What are the policies? where are the policies at? By the way, since I'm gonna do this, right? You might as well just go ahead though and chip in, because there's a reason why I want people to donate. There's a reason why I want people to donate, and it's not for myself. Because you get clowns who just talk in circles over and over and over again, and not draw to a conclusion. Just saying the same thing that I've been hearing for 20 years. And y'all talking about, we're the leaders of the community. Yeah, I have yet to see, with the exception of myself, because I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. Has anybody over here talked about policy, actual real policy proposal? I'm talking about black men. I ain't talking about you women. How many black men put out actual policies? I can only think of 4 men. One of them is me. The other one is Kevin Smith. Who are the other 2 in this this chitin circle YouTube actually put out some policy out? I'll wait. Got these old head Negroes in their 50s and 60s still saying the same damn thing, and you supposed to move on from all this. You supposed to talk about here's how we're going to solve this problem.
Yeah, if 92% for policies that are antithetical to what we believed years ago, because they've been co-opted or psyoped by white liberal dogma, then that's a problem. That's an excellent point, because out of that 90%, 92%, let's say out of 10 million, only 5 million voted, and they represented 92%. I can see that. But my point is that's still an overrepresentation. That's a very.
And this Negro gonna still talk policy. What policy? You know, let me skip his ass. Let me skip him. I'm getting tired of his ass talking.
Asked you earlier, and all your response was this nigga did it, right? When I said, bro, are you trying to?
Hold on, it's fast forward, because I'm glad he left. I'm glad that nigga left.
Now, well, I'm the one did that content. So because he misrepresented it, I can cook his dumb ass. But he ran, so we'll never get into the conversation from the side. But any one of you goofies who believe him or follow him, I'm always available. Now, when he speaks of adultification, let's rewind a little bit, because that's what I was talking about with the Jason Pope case, adultification. These men took little girls and turned them into adults and called themselves fucking them, the same you heard that dude do today. They acted like those 13, 14, 15-year-old girls were the problem. And
okay, yes. I remember this because Jason Pope was a white dude from the Carolinas, and I'm trying to remember back. I'm trying to remember this. It was either South Carolina, North Carolina. It doesn't matter. It's one of the Carolinas, and he infected the A word, right? He infected these young girls with the package, with the virus, by having sex with them, because he was part of I'm trying to remember, he was part of some entertainment group, radio show, something like that. I forgot what it is. Yes, but I remember that. And you got all these shine bones who come online and do this. You come online trying to do SBE, shame, blame, and that goddamn explain. Instead of talking about what the white boy did to all these 15, 16, 17-year-old girls, y'all's calling them whores and hoes and real fours and everything else under the sun. And you know, let me step back from this real quick. Hey, have you ever noticed the same men who talk shit about black women being hookers and hoes when they you know because they happen to sleep with Jason Pope? understand these are the same Negroes that get online talking about let's lower the age of consent. The same Negroes will talk about let's lower the age of consent. These are the same ones that if you go back 6, 7, 8 years ago, these are the same niggas that'll tell you, yo, man, you know, all them black women that got with this white boy, they are real fours. But now y'all arguing about lowering the age of consent. That's why I hate you niggas. What y'all do? Y'all make an argument, but because you couldn't have your way with this woman, you're going to degrade her and everything else because you got a dry dick. That's what this is all about. See, I know Queen. I know you think I'm sounding crazy, but this sector YouTube did not start off like this. It was a serious concept back 20 years ago. People was talking about policy back then, Queen. Now though it's a joke. Now though we talking about, yo, man, the black woman, the black bitch, the black man ain't shit. Whoa. And whoever is in my chat room, no, I'm not trying to save it. I need it buried. it needs to go. You know, it needs to be somebody need to put it in the body bag and bury this thing, okay? I ain't trying to save anything. No, Queen, it's not on YouTube. All right, the person who put that link out is not on YouTube. It's on another website, trying to get me to hit that link on that other website. So no, Queen. I believe in deplatforming to bury it. I believe in deplatforming. But I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I'm talking about that in a minute, though, Queen. Talk about that in a minute.
Not the white man who took advantage of them. So you this goofy ass nigga pretending like he got a degree and I'm this and I'm that. But in reality, he just came up here and did what it is he's claiming that somebody else is doing. No, you adultify young black girls and then act like we don't see y'all doing it. Then we call y'all on it. And now you got to run. You're in a rush. I understand. Y'all been running for years. He ain't the first person to run that claims to have the credentials. He just can't have a conversation because he a fraud. Just like most of these men making these claims, but then acting like they don't know what happened in the States. If he was around, he know O'Shea and them was running around talking about aborting other black men, unaliving other black men, and in the fight other black men. But now when a woman says, oh my God, I can't believe he said that.
You know, I'm like MOT. Shout out to MOT, man. Shout out to Man Tomorrow. No, some niggas need to be sent the upper room. I think that we need to decrease the population of the Delta Novembers, because you're always trying to explain yourself to dumb niggas. And you trying to explain something to them, and they keep on getting in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. So I agree with Man of Tomorrow, when he talked on his channel, shout out to him. We always talk about the Delta Novembers need to be stowed on. I agree fully with him on that regard. Because see, the thing is, we got a Delta November problem. You can't comprehend. You don't read. You don't research. And then you come online trying to either bully a woman, stalk a woman, or saying some stupid, or trying to quote unquote get men to jump on a woman, or do it either online or in real life. And y'all niggas can't fucking read or can't do a simple math equation. You're in the way. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Nobody.
Taz, can I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
If it's a 14-year-old boy in the streets playing with guns, should we hold him accountable?
Why are you talking about guns?
Well, I asked you if you could. That's why I asked you if I could ask you a question. You could just tell me no, because I ain't gonna do that back and forth with you either. We either gonna have a conversation or we not.
Well, we're not talking about guns, Mr. Beanz. Guns are a tool to use, Mr. Beanz. Guns are dangerous, and yes, it is. That's why we have gun training. Well, y'all live in the inner city, so let this country boy tell you, we get gun classes in high school. Don't you know? No, we live in a red state, so gun training, we get that in high school. We get that when we were like junior year of high school in the great state of Texas. So, Mr. Beanz, trying to equate guns to a man using and sexually abusing and giving STDs to teenage girls, you try to equate that to guns? That's not the same argument, nigga.
Right, so I'm trying to figure out what you're holding accountable.
So you either gonna answer it or you're not.
Right, but your question is open-ended. What are we holding them accountable for?
For being in the streets playing with guns. Right?
No, it's not. No,
it's not illegal for 14-year-old boys to be in the streets playing with guns.
It's not illegal for a 14-year-old to have a gun unless the gun is a rifle. Now, if it's a handgun, yes. Know the laws before you speak, Beanz.
No, they go hunting with guns and all this type of shit.
Absolutely, but I didn't say hunting. I said playing in the street.
Wouldn't be hunting, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Playing with guns.
Right. So that's what
I can't help it that y'all have,
right?
But you have a limit. You have a limited vocabulary. So when
absolutely,
you say in the
you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't.
No. That's the problem. You do have a limited vocabulary and a limited understanding and the limit capability to grasp the notion of that there are layers to our society, whether that's inside or outside of Black's America.
No, I don't. If I could just finish. It's not illegal for kids to have guns. Ain't illegal. Okay, right, just to be clear. I'm in a state where a child can legally have a gun. Yeah.
No, you don't.
Absolutely.
No, you don't.
Go ahead, Mr. B.
And this shine bone on something. No, you don't. Yeah, yes, it is. If you live in, I'm assuming Taz is in the West, right? I ain't gonna identify what state he's in. I'm assuming he's in the West. That Western state over there, right? if you live in that mountain state, mountain states, their gun laws is very lax. Where I'm at in Texas, gun laws are very, very, very lax. See, a lot of you inner city Negroes don't know shit. You Negroes from New York in the Northeast, y'all know a damn thing. You think Black America is like a BET movie. You think Black America is like that Tyler Perry movies and shit. We all black people, much like everybody else, live all over in the United States in these little pockets. What are you talking about?
So absolutely. So I'm from Chicago. Absolutely, you can't have a gun at 14 years old.
No, that's why you from Chicago. From where? Chicago. Well, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know nothing. Beanz, you know nothing. You from Chicago. You from Illinois. That's an anti-gun state. Why are you worried about that? When Taz lives in a Second Amendment friendly state. And you want to bring up guns as a way to say you ain't protecting men, boys, when because you try to use the gun argument in a way to wash away what happened to those young black girls 6-7 years ago.
Absolutely.
Not in Chicago.
Not gonna happen.
You can have a gun in Chicago at 25. I got you.
You can have one at 14, going to jail, right? Parents got to come get you, right? So they just put the what is it, concealed carry into place a few years ago, right? So let's try this again. A young boy, 14 years old in the street, right? The kind that make the news for playing with guns, right?
Which street? You can't compare what you just did about guns compared to a white man going after little kids on teenage girls.
Do you think we should hold them accountable? Yes or no?
I think you should hold them accountable, but if you're implying that that's adultification, it's not. You hold them accountable as a kid. You hold them accountable as a 14-year-old. You don't hold them accountable as an 18-year-old. You don't hold them accountable as if they're not a child.
Right.
So I don't know what you're asking.
Right. So
you are. They don't know. They don't know you. I know they exposed. Right. They don't know you.
Respond, Taz.
He's gonna make it personal.
Ahead,
Hold on. Yo,
it's always personal with me. Y'all like people. It's personal.
But you got good points, and then it gets destroyed by all the other shit. I'm interested to hear what you and Beanz is talking about. Go ahead, Beanz. That's it. I think the answer has merit. Go ahead, Beanz.
So now, 14-year-old boy shoots and kills somebody in the street. Do we treat him like a 14-year-old or an 18-year-old?
14.
14 years old. Okay, cool. So the reason why I'm asking you that question is because even though I would agree with you 100%, right, that you got to hold people accountable, I don't understand this narrative where y'all try to make it seem like when it's dealing with women, if they're under 18, they're always victims, right? I think that's a part of the problem. And this is what I'm saying when I asked you earlier, and all your response was this nigga did it, right? When I said, bro, are you trying to convince me that these men
You see, listen. Shame, blame, and explain. It took all of that to make a stupid ass comparison when that comparison does not fit. We have a Second Amendment in this country, right? Where everybody, virtually almost everybody has the right to bear arms. You're trying to equate a right, trying to use the argument of adultification because young boys having guns, and you're trying to equate that to young girls getting used and abused by a grown man. Shame, blame, and explain. This is a prime example of this. Oh, don't worry. I'm coming after Anger Man after this too, though. Don't worry. I'm gonna do a live stream on Anger Man after this too, because Anger Man needs to get this work too, though. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
They were sitting around and was like, you know what? Let's just go on YouTube and start talking shit about women and kids and the black community and all this other stuff for no reason, unprovoked. There was nothing going on in their real lives, nothing going on in the media, nothing going on at home, nothing going on in their childhood, their experiences, or nothing. They just jumped on the internet and just started talking shit. Is that really what you want us to believe, bro?
Bro, here's where my frustration comes from, Ham. So what I was talking about was young ladies who were victims of a fucking grown man. You don't realize that this man just took a scenario and put some Y in the street. They got guns. Should we treat them the same way as we treat these victims? You don't see what he just did? You
Absolutely.
See that? I'm supposed to be cool with it.
Right, but
see, and hemp is just another he's just another Sharon Bracey. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said he's just like Sharon. Okay? He's just Sharon with more of a with the less flamboyant perspective, making money off of black pain. That's what this is. And in Mr. Fantastic is the PhD diva on Hamp's channel. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
These girls were victims versus you saying some young men in the streets playing with guns. Can you show me where these young women who are victims of adult men are out committing a crime? What? How do you put them next to young men with guns?
Tess, why were they victims? Did any of them make their own choices? Yes or no?
They were taking advantage of the adults.
How were they taken advantage of, Taz?
Sexually.
Were they kidnapped?
Nope.
Were they tied up?
Nope.
Or did they make their own decisions and go with somebody who was older and have sex?
This is why there's a BWE. 13, 14-year-old girls you talking about, right?
But see, here's the difference. The difference between me and you, Taz, is I don't have to insinuate what you think.
I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear.
You don't want to be clear, because if you did, you would talk to me.
I'm talking to you.
Okay, so here we go. Let's do it again.
14-year-old
let's do it again, Taz. Let's do it again. You already know your mic is breaking up.
14-year-old girls.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's the thing.
They're not the same. They're not the same as the boys with guns.
No, not. They can't hear us, bro. So just hold on. What I'm saying is this. I'm testing your consistency. That's all I'm doing.
No, you're not. I'm not caping for Taz, but damn, anybody can see you being inconsistent, Beans, with that dumb shit you just said. But then again, you part of the Fight Club, Negroes. Nigga came from the Fight Club and shit.
You want to be smart and tell us how you smarter than everybody, then you should realize that. I'm only testing your consistency. You could change these stories from little boys and little girls to Chevys and Oldsmobiles, and it would be the same thing. I'm testing your consistency. If you have a problem with that, then say that. Because at the end of the day,
I have a problem.
Go ahead.
Yes, problem with you attempting to test my consistent with inconsistent logic, are using children who are victims of men to
Absolutely.
compare that to young boys who create victims?
Right. You want me to answer that?
I'm waiting.
So if I sit here and I try to make it seem like every single little kid in the street who's playing with guns, there was some adult who put them guns in their hands, you would tell me I was full of shit, wouldn't you? Because
Not all the case, because sometimes the guns, when it comes to gun crime, the guns are usually locked up or hidden, and the child finds it. Beans. Not every gun was given to a child. Some guns were found and then used. So Beans, it's all cap.
right now, you just made the argument that these little kids is out here making their own decisions, making people victims, right? So why is that not the case with the girls, Taz?
Because, nigga, because a teenage girl can be lied upon by a man who gives them STDs. Not everybody knows the complications of an STD, much less know laws about sex, especially from adult men preying on teenage girls. Beans.
Because an adult man, I'll say it again, an adult man took advantage of underage girls.
Absolutely.
That is a crime. That is a crime. Okay.
So it's guns.
That man created victims out of those little girls. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Now, in your scenario, where the young man is out with a gun, he's creating a victim with those guns.
Absolutely.
What ideology or logic of mine are you showing a flaw in?
Where did they get the guns from, Taz?
Some nigga, some grown man.
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
What's the? I'm sorry, y'all sitting in these dumbass faces like you can't check.
Black women empowerment, or was it meant to be kind of a response to the negativity that was being?
See, no, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done. Y'all gonna be talking in circles, day in and day out, the same old shit. You know? Yeah, exactly, right. Because here's the thing, George. There was no excuse for Jason Pope to have sex with underage girls. There was no excuse for that. But to sit there and equate that, because Jason Pope was victimizing others. Homeboy who got the gun, the young man getting the gun in Chicago, there are plenty of reasons why he got the gun. Some boys got it for protection. Some boys did it to infiltrate themselves into a gang. Some boys got it for curiosity. So my thing is, what is Beanz talking about? And then when somebody get hurt by said gun, guess what? That boy made a victim. He's now making he's the victimizer at this point. If he used the gun on an individual and the individual get hurt by it, that person, he's no longer the victim. He's a victimizer. He's a perp. And usually when you go to impoverished and downtrodden areas, people use guns to steal or self-defense or initiate themselves in a game. You know, I'm gonna say something, right? Because since this is about the BWE and the black manosphere, the only way to defeat and destroy both the black woman empowerment and the black manosphere, you have to create policy and make sure these policies are implemented. So somebody won't go online and listen to some old ass nigga. They be too busy with a good job, too busy trying to raise a family, too busy trying to traveling, too busy trying to do a life of, you know, doing the best things that life has to offer. They want me coming online, listen to Obsidian, listen to Mr. Beanz, listen to Tommy, listen to Anger Man trying to and BJS and talking about shame, blame, and explain. Let's blame women. Let's blame men. Nobody had to sit there and listen to fucking ass Crystal Swirls or Brooklyn Blue or Candace Owens. Yes, I said Candace Owens. Nobody don't have to sit there and listen to that damn I already said Cynthia G, right? Nobody don't have to listen to any of the BWE or the Black Manosphere trying to trauma bond and make money off of pain. Because everybody else will be too big. That's why we need the only way to silence the Manosphere and silence BWE is to make sure that the next generation has a productive and happy existence. A happy and productive existence. So you wouldn't have these stupid podcasters putting out trauma bonding content that further damaging the minds of the next generation. Because honestly, I think both sides use that story for their own gain. Red Pill guys and the BWE ladies don't like you know, I don't like either one of them. Let me tell you, I'm telling you right now, I hate both sides. If you ask me, George, I hate both sides. Both sides are disgusting, and that's what one nigga on this side of YouTube he needs to wake up. This is one Negro who keeps siding with the BWE. He needs to wake up and wake up quick because he don't know what they're saying on Clubhouse when he's not live. He needs to understand what they're saying when they're on that white man's channel, what they say about his black ass. They, you know, if people would think that, you know, let me say this. I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of the Manosphere and the BWE and groups like this, right? And I said this, I make hints about this, but I'm gonna say it. I hope after this election, and I'm counting for after this election, I hope there is a committee hearing about changing some laws about communications and internet. I hope that Google and Facebook and the CEO of all these other fill in the blank social media companies will be filed in front of these congressional hearings, and then I want various Manosphere BWE folks be called up upon over there too, and then I want this to happen. I really want this to happen. I want somebody to ask Rollo Tomasi, are you part of a hate group? And if not, what are you? I want somebody to go to Obsidian and Anger Man, call file some subpoenas and ask him, are you a hate group? And if not, what are you? And then if they say no, you play a video saying, wait a minute, you said this, that, and third. I want to see that. And then I want to see the CEO of Google, which is YouTube, and Meta, which is Facebook, and Congress forced them to abide by their terms of service in their community guidelines, because everybody is being racist and sexist, and nobody, nobody's being put to task. Content creators not put to task for the misogyny that they put out or the misandry that they put out. That's what I want to see happen. See, that's the first thing that needs to happen. The second thing that needs to happen is close the education gap. Boys are purposely being miseducated. Yes, boys are purposely being miseducated. Well, also needs to happen. You need to increase the make blue collar worker cool again. But anyway, you know what? I'm boring y'all with this shit. I'm boring y'all because because I was accused yesterday of, well, Big J, you don't have no policy and what you talking about. Somebody accused me of this shit yesterday, and that really pissed me off. I had to go ahead and show you my position. And you know what? Let me say it like this: if you can't do it, it's like the old adage, like what's that saying, George? If people can't do it right, you have to do it yourself. I might have to do some shit my damn self instead of me trying to tell people who has a bigger channel or bigger influence than me to do shit. Hey man, this is the issue. I think you might want to. No, you might as well just do it. I'll do it my damn self. Fuck it. No, it's not just you, but you did say it, Queen. But I'm talking about somebody else said that. Might as well just do it your goddamn self. Because it's time to write the final chapter to all this bullshit. And then we wouldn't be having all these. We wouldn't be having these. You shine bones supporting a dictator and Donald Trump. But y'all here for entertainment. No. You know why? I tell you why. Because I got ridiculed. So I'm gonna be the bastard. I won't be that nigga. I won't be the nigga who's gonna take. Okay, since y'all told me I ain't shit, I ain't that. Okay, let's see how this shit works when that rabbit has the gun. See, Anger Man helped put Trump in the White House. Yeah, I said it. I blame the manosphere for putting Trump in the White House. So I think the manosphere should be punished as for treason, the way I see it. Along with Black MAGA. You fed into Trumpism. You need to be punished for it. It already has been explained, Queen. I already said who's going to punish him. I said you force Google and Facebook to abide by their terms of service and their community guidelines. That's how you punish them. I already explained that though 6 minutes ago. These red pill guys act like the biggest Karen clutching the pearls when you say something about bad about Trump or Charlie Kirk. Right. Make YouTube and Facebook responsible for not buying by their contract. When every time you upload a video, when you press play, there's a little thing at the bottom. That's a contract. You agree to a contract. Sexism, racism. How come y'all let all that shit slide? I'm for it. But anyway, I said enough. But I'm also pissed off that somebody gonna mention somebody else's name in the chat room. But anyway, let me get out of here. I said enough. And Pete, I know I'm sounding a very what's the right word? What's the right word, George? I'm trying to find what's the right word. Am I sounding like an asshole? You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna say. Oh, she said I'm crazy. No, I'm fed up. That's the point. I'm fed up. I ain't crazy. I'm fed. Well, if you think I'm crazy, that's fine. But I don't think I'm crazy. I'm just fed. I'm fed up because I firmly believe social media led to Trumpism. The tech companies led to Trumpism, and I know what the tech companies are doing. Even Mr. Barbecue even said it. No, I don't sound ridiculous. You have to follow the money. All you have to do is follow the money. How come these tech companies can meet at the White House, and then these tech companies is pushing Anger Man and people like Anger Man and BGS and other content creators are being destroyed. You asking a crackhead to be sober. No, I put it like this. I'm asking the sinner to repent. I'm like John the Baptist in the Bible. He's demanding the sinner to repent. So it is what it is, and I stand on it. I'm sorry. I stand on what I said. You know. Yeah, the tech companies need to be punished. You know. And they're a part in this. Okay, he's okay. Okay, George said, I see what Queen is saying. These guys are losers, but you should expect better of them. It doesn't make you crazy. You're fed up, but don't expect much from idiots. No, Big J. You need to be making content that counters the shit that they're saying rather than ranting about what they're saying. So what? Okay, brother Numbry said, so whatever content provider they're going to push, whoever is doing it is going to drive those discounts. That's where they're going to push. You get up there, you criticize how folks create content, and your key is often as lazy as they are. Well, Queen, I really don't have much time. I mean, I really don't have that much time to like I used to, you know. So anyway, you know. But you don't see me on panels like as much, so I don't know what are you suggesting, because I do other things. So what is in my side that hurting me? So anyway, I said enough, y'all. I said enough. I'm going to dissect and deconstruct BJ's stupid ass too, talking about abortion. I've got to go deep and hard in the paint, but that's going to be a pre-record video because yeah. I got to go deep and hard in the paint. You know, I'm gonna do old school style for him. Queen, you should have heard what he said. It was one of the dumbest shit I ever heard. I'm listening to it. Now, mind you, I'm at work, right? I'm at work. I'm on break. I'm listening to it. I'm just like, oh my God. Well, white men, no, here was the kicker what B just said. White men don't wear condoms, but white women are on birth control. I'm sitting there thinking, like, wait a minute. So you make the comparison that black women don't use birth control, while at the same time you accuse white women of using birth control, but what white men has sex with women without condoms. And I would like to ask, nigga, are you watching another man's dick? Because that was one of the wildest shit he ever said. I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. He said what? Oh, the link to what? You mean the BJ's video, or a link to? Let me see what she's talking about, because I know I'm about to hear get an earful. Wait a minute. YouTube StreamYards is doing it again. StreamYards is doing it again. Let me do this. StreamYards is doing that bullshit again. Let me go ahead. Let me go on my YouTube. Queen, go to it should be in the chat room. I'll post it again. Ow, man, that hurt. The fuck? The fuck is this? Hold on. That hurt. Ow. What the fuck is that? I'll wait for Queen to come up. I don't know if she see it in my chat room. No. Hold on. Let me do this. Ain't that a bitch? So you're saying, oh, YouTube rejected your comment. It's fairly common to share when sharing a shared link. You may be. You put it the third time. Just go to my my Big J 2020 channel and get the link from there. You know what? I'll do this. Hold on. Let me sign in my other channel. Oh, go on, Queen.
Hello.
Going with you.
Well, George, that's why I come over here, because I'm not weak being cussed out just for trying to have a conversation. These people is crazy as hell.
Yeah, what's on your mind, Queen?
What the hell is he talking about abortion for now?
I don't know. It was about birth control and abortions and it was so stupid. And he's talking about that white women use birth control more than black women. And I'm like, nigga, the birth control pill came out in 1962. Most black people wasn't. He's so stupid. Like most black people wasn't aware. I mean, not aware. Wasn't getting those high priced medications up until later on. So for him to use that analogy, anyway, it was so stupid. It was so stupid. I just, I'm going to address. I got to address. I feel like addressing it.
So you know what gets on my nerves about these conversations? They don't talk about the maternal death rate of these babies. They don't talk about the disparities in health care that black women have trying to give birth to these children. But they sit up here and have all these conversations about these millions of abortions that we are allegedly having, but they have no smoke for the establishment that don't give a damn if we give birth to these children, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got more of us that are having babies than having abortions. you got people like me.
You was talking and you went out. Queen, you was talking, you went out. What happened? Hello, Queen. I'm assuming she's at work or she's driving or something, so I don't know. I'll just wait for her to come back. So yeah, I'll wait for her to come back. So I'm assuming that's what it is. You know, she must be driving or something, or got cut off or something. I'll wait for her to come back. Okay, hold on, let me see. She's okay. You back? Okay. All right, Queen. You were saying about infant mortality rate, and you went out.
Why they don't never talk about that shit? Like the same week that my baby was stillborn, it was another woman who had a stillborn baby as well. She was a black woman, same fucking doctor.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by conversations? When I used to go around and talk to some of these niggas, the first shit to come out of their mouth was, I'm somebody baby mama and had an abortion. I ain't never had an abortion in my life, but I did lose a child, and it wasn't due to anything that I had done. I went to all my doctor's visits. I took my prenatal vitamins, and I still lost the baby due to medical negligence. But they don't talk about that shit. They want to sit up here and talk about abortion like that's the biggest issue that's causing a lack of black births. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure more black women lose their babies due to medical negligence than fucking abortion.
But there has been articles about that. But people don't want to read those articles. They want to they want to use a line that, oh, black women just is just aborting babies right and left. You know.
Because they put fucking shit like Planned Parenthood, and I don't have a problem with Planned Parenthood because if it wasn't for Planned Parenthood, a lot of people wouldn't be able to access this birth control that he talking about white women take so white men can infect them with HIV as well as black men because they the ones that spread that shit around. But nobody wants to sit there and talk about that shit either. Um Planned Parenthood helps people be able to access birth control and the medical necessities of women. But they don't talk about none of that. The only thing they want to talk about is abortion. Our Planned Parenthood clinics do not provide abortion services.
True.
Why I'm still trying to figure out why abortion is even a topic when Roe versus Wade is gone. What the hell? What is you talking about it for?
Well, I mean, California's still legal.
That's
Where
one state. It's very few states that's gonna allow an abortion just because a woman, I don't know, not mentally fit to be a mother, not financially fit to be a mother, just not ready to take on that role. Women don't
mm,
get to make that choice no more. You know, she just gotta be saddlebag with this baby from some man who may or may not decide to be in the child's life.
mm-hmm.
So abortion is a conversation still. Why they don't feel like they won? Roe versus Wade got repealed. What the fuck are you still talking about?
Right.
We have videos of women being mistreated and abused while in labor. They're not having those conversations. Stuff like that irritates the hell out of me. And then it'll be the same men that'll sit up here and tell me shit like, oh, you married, you should be on our side. On your side for what? You're not talking about anything that's gonna help black women in this particular dynamic or situations that we in. Y'all talking about shit that most of us don't ain't never experienced. Most of us ain't never had no abortion, ain't never seen the inside of an abortion clinic.
If they really were so concerned about abortions, they should go to their local hospital. That's where most of those abortions are being performed at. But if you tell them that, they can't grasp that concept. They think it's the cartoonish, you know.
You know what else is crazy? An abortion is expensive. Most black folks don't even have that much money sitting to the side to be able to have no damn abortion.
I remember that time though. I said that to the master teacher. He gonna go ahead and try to frame the argument as, well, black women sell fish plates to have one. I'm just like,
So
do you, go ahead.
okay, so if she's selling fish plates, then where she get the money to buy the fish?
Right. And then the sides, and then the styrofoam plates, and then the styrofoam cups. I mean, I'm looking at it like, bro, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. Yeah, man, yeah, did it because they selling fish plates and chicken plates. I'm like, nigga, that's not even enough to have a procedure done. You know what? I got to go into archives and find that video when he was over here saying that dumb shit about the fish and the black women sell fish plates to have an abortion. I got to go up in that video he did about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was about 5-6 years ago, I should say, and get it, because it was stupid what he said.
That's crazy. That's all I wanted to know here. That's all I wanted to say, because that's crazy that these folks is still sitting up here talking about abortion. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Mm-hmm. So, well, I've been tired. You know,
We go to sleep.
I will.
I talk to you later.
All right then. Yeah, I'm gonna get on off of here. I said enough, man. And plus, though, I'm in pain right now. I don't know what's. I think it's a cramp or something. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, and I talk to you next. I talk to y'all next time, maybe later in the afternoon or so. I'm gonna follow this election in France. Seeing though France might elect its first black president. I'm gonna follow that. Yeah, I'm gonna follow that's that story since I just saw that last night. So that's what I was doing last night, researching on this person. So anyway, let me get out of here, and I'll see y'all next time, y'all. I'm out. Peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.